Friend back here on the Blitz with us tonight, USA Today college football writer and Blitz contributor, George Schroeder. George, welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
George, you've been out and about. We haven't seen you as much this year, but you're stock full of knowledge, and it's a great time to have you. Why don't we start with Kyler Murray and the big weekend we had up in New York and him winning it. What are your strongest thoughts?
Well, he had a tremendous year. Listen, it's amazing to me to think that he had a better year than Baker Mayfield, that Oklahoma's offense was better than it was a year ago, but it was. And when you look at this particular team and you think about what they would have been like had they not had Kyler Murray playing at that level, then it's easy to see why he won the Heisman Trophy. I'm a big fan of Tua Tagovailoa as well, and Dwayne Haskins, the third finalist from Ohio State, is terrific. He might be the best quarterback Ohio State's ever had. But when you look at what Kyler Murray meant to his team, along with the talent that he brought to the table, that to me was the difference.
He's a marked man now, George. I mean, you're going to go to the Orange Bowl now, and Alabama's already got, as if they didn't have the bullseye on him now. I mean, the shallow thinker in this says, oh, we didn't want him to win it, if you're an OU fan. Well,
it makes you think of when Chris Winkie won it, and Torrance Marshall was on doing the coin flip in that Orange Bowl, and he said, you got our Heisman, because Josh Heupel was supposed to win the Heisman in the Sooners' eyes. And I'm sure that
they go out and score no points.
Yeah, that's
right. They get the safety, right?
That's right. So they backed it up, right? Yeah. Look, I'm sure that Alabama fans are pretty motivated. There's no question, just based on my Twitter timeline, right? But is Alabama, the Crimson Tide, any more motivated? I don't know. I don't know if they have to be. I mean, that's a really, really good team and a really tall task for Oklahoma, regardless.
You're very familiar with the SEC and Alabama. Tell our viewers how good Bama is and Oklahoma's chances. But really, tell us about Bama.
Well, Alabama, first of all, is Tua Tagovailoa going to be healthy? If he's 100%, and they think he'll be back to practicing in about a week and a half, if he's 100% for the game, they have an offense unlike anything we've seen out of Alabama. It's a much, much better offense, and that was the difference between them this year and in previous years. In fact, their defense is good, but it's not Alabama great, not by Alabama standards. But their offense is so much better. They sort of moved into the Oklahoma realm, the Clemson realm of dynamic quarterbacks with these explosive offenses, and that's changed everything for them. The key for me is going to be, can Oklahoma's offense be as efficient and as explosive as it's been most of the year? I suspect it will be.
I don't know.
But it's a really good Alabama team. We could be in for a shootout. I'm like a lot of other people. I'm going to give Alabama the edge on things just because of the defensive on both sides of the ball. But look, it could be a ton of fun.
It'll be a shootout at least from one side, I know that.
Well, it sounds like a lot of rat poison, actually, is what this sounds like. All right, so the other team in the state who's involved in the bowl game, Liberty Bowl, you've got OSU, up and down, roller coaster of a season, 6-6, and then they're taking on a Missouri team that was 4-4 at one point, and they've won their last 4.
Well, and Missouri's one of the better stories in the SEC. You know, they're just a couple of ticks away from winning 10 games. It's kind of the nice way to say things. I think their offense with Locke at quarterback is as good as anything we've seen in a long time. Obviously, Oklahoma State, just when you think you know what you've got in them, then they do something else. Whether you think bad things, they're great. When you think great things, they're just sort of mediocre. And 6-6, they've sort of defined that, right? I don't know what to expect when it comes to Oklahoma. I think the good point would be nobody's expecting a lot right now. Everybody's high on Missouri, and maybe that's good news for Oklahoma State.
Hey, George, thanks very much.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you again.
Thank you, bud.
Thank you.